No, because you order on Deliveroo and it gets delivered to your house. I just can't be bothered to drive in Derby, so I just watch Aldi. Yeah, but I Deliveroo it, so like I do a shop and get it delivered to my house.
When you live across one supermarket?
Yeah.
Well, how would you pay that?
But then you'll walk to Starbucks, which is double the distance with me. But Starbucks is there. Shopping is not important to me. If I don't have to do it, I'm not doing it.
Okay, so that's comments on climate change
Lovely.
and the dentist. And what else are we
Um,
asking questions on?
so mental health and well-being, and then antisocial behaviour. So
That's good. Let's talk about mental health and well-being.
Well, the doctors don't see you.
Yeah.
that is
I've had
very
a chest
true.
infection and had to go to a COVID ward when I don't have COVID. So why can they use it as an excuse not to see you?
That is a very good point. I don't have an answer for you just yet, but that's
I'm
a very,
just saying,
very
it's
good
like,
point.
It's not fair.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, in the pandemic been put on the back burner, and especially like since we've all been like locked down, not been able to go out. Obviously that was 2020. There's still those repercussions, and I think as well people are actually quite anxious to go out.
Yes.
So I don't know if anybody in here feels sometimes in like a really crowded area, you're like, oh gosh.
Bit
For
claustrophobic.
mental health, they'll just give you tablets and then say you'll be alright, ring back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or they send you to a counsellor, you see the counsellor and they're like, oh, we're going to prefer you to...
Yeah, but how long does it take you to do that? Do you know what I mean?
you're on the waiting list.
I'd rather give you a prescription and then be like, ring in 2 weeks, another appointment.
And then you can't get an appointment in
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
They won't see you. Yeah, and then they'll just keep shoving antidepressants down your throat.
So let me ask a question about mental health then. So do you think being locked down in isolation has made mental health issues worse or more challenging? And what can we do to take personal responsibility for our own mental health? Just a question.
It's a scary thought though, isn't it, being in lockdown? Imagine being a single person, you can't go out.
Yeah,
You're not sat down on your own. You're not allowed. Yeah.
I understand. I think for us, what we did, we encouraged people to do everything they could do while they could do it. So, for example, when people could go out to make, to try and go for a walk every day.
Yeah, so that 1 hour.
Go for a walk anywhere you can go. And then diet, eating and mental health, what things are good for us, what things are bad for us, like getting wired on coffee.
Yes,
all
that was
the time.
definitely, that was mine, and snacks during lockdown. So
Yeah. Or what kind of snacks?
Yeah, when I'm depressed,
I
I
just
do
want to
eat.
You eat and just drink loads of pure alcohol. Which is all you could really do in lockdown. You
Yes.
weren't actually allowed to do anything.
You don't have to go shop for a bottle of vodka, would you?
No, but you Sainsbury's will deliver it. Yeah. You just sit and at least it was nice. You could sit in the garden and just get drunk with your neighbours. Yeah, it's like 12 o'clock on a Monday. I remember the highlight of ours was the bin men came for the first time in a month, and all my neighbours were literally like just watching because they'd not seen an actual person. It was not each other.
see, I was stuck in a flat for the first lockdown. So whenever anyone's like, "Oh yeah, the weather was lovely, wasn't it?" I'm like, "Well, I'm stuck inside, so it was very hot." Well, it's where I can open it that much.
Not in.
Yeah, we invested in a lot of fans, but yes.
So what about food and mental health? Eating right. What things are good to eat? What things are bad to eat?
I love fruit. I'd rather eat McDonald's.
Yeah. But it's so much cheaper. You could buy chocolate cheaper than fruit.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Which is why so many people eat crap.
I think I want about healthy eating. Put the prices down there.
Yeah, but if you go to Aldi, you can buy a bag of grapes for like 19p.
No,
But
can't
not everyone
anymore.
can
No,
get to Aldi.
You can't anymore because all the
Not that
prices
you
are
go.
up. No.
When Ash goes to Aldi for grapes.
Well, if he loves oranges, then it's just go and buy his oranges.
Does anybody eat healthily? Is anybody focused on eating healthily?
I eat quite healthily.
What do you eat, Timothy, that's healthy?
Well, I just make sure that I have not too high sugar intake. I make sure that, and just sort of watch stuff like I don't have that much alcohol. I don't have that much. I have sometimes, but not.
Yeah, because there's a lot of sugar in alcohol that people don't realise.
And I just basically just watch what I eat and just try and get the right balance. Basically.
That's good. I'm well balanced. I've got a chip on each shoulder. We're talking about food. Chip on each shoulder. Chloe, so what do you eat? Well,
I cook fresh a lot of the time.
that's good.
And make sure everything's kind of balanced. So I like a lot of Italian food and like last night I made myself fajitas, like a lot of veg and stuff.
Nice.
But it's also about making sure you've got like you're having all your meals. Like make sure you have breakfast in the morning, because if you don't have breakfast, then it actually tributes to mood changes and mental health problems. So
Yes.
and all stuff like that.
That's good. Excellent. Very good. I've got a wife who makes sure I eat well.
See, that's always a good thing, isn't it? When you've
She
got
always-
someone who makes sure.
I'm accountable. It's good to have people you're accountable to, but when you're married, my wife. So she makes sure I eat lots of veg and lots of salad. She never says have some more steak or more chicken. She always says have some more salad.
Not when it's curry.
Yeah, and my wife, if she says, what would you like for dinner? And I'll say, oh, I'll have chips, steak. She say, you can have steak or curry or this or that. And I'll say, I'll have chips and steak. And she'll say, do you not want this? She'll give me an option the second time round. You know what I mean? That's just something I can't work out. And I say, Jill, I've said what I'd like, please. And I have it. And then 2 days later, we go through the same thing. But anyway. So I think being accountable to people is good. On anything, not just diet, but exercise and other things in life that you challenge with or we need to get better at. But yeah, but part of it is when you're younger. For me, I mean, I didn't care what I ate. I mean, I obviously cared a bit later when I was weight training, bodybuilding, so I'd eat lots of protein and eat all the right things. But then you don't start really putting weight on till you're like past 30 or mid-30s, and then you've got to really be careful what you eat because you don't burn it off as fast.
Can't really say I relate to that after the 30s, but
so that's another thing. As you get older, it's like you'll be forced to do it or not, because if you don't nail it, you'll get obese or morbidly obese. And then, of course, with morbidly obesity and then other issues and health issues, it's a big thing to break then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have been in hospital, even with the COVID and other things. If you check the small print, it's always and other things. And a lot of it was multimorbidities. And a lot of it was people who were morbidly obese who would get really ill. So they're really important things. But as a young person, you'd be like, whatever. I'll just have
McDonald's.
3 Big Macs and, a banana milkshake full of sugar from McDonald's, back in the day. But anyway, has anybody else got any thoughts on diet, dentistry, young people? Have we spoke about young people?
I don't think we really have.
Should we speak about young people?
Or false these days.
Let's go to the toilet, is that okay?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah. You don't need to ask, you can just go. It's not school here.
Actually, I said some notes about diet.
Yeah?
When you go to shops, like just typical supermarket, the unhealthy stuff is just too readily available, and it's just all like on display, and just how it's labelled and everything with like the colours and.
So the marketing and promotion is towards that.
Yeah, they promote unhealthy stuff basically, which makes it harder for people who want to be healthy, I guess. Or if
I'm with you.
Or if you're
So-
sort of teetering on the edge of being going for the healthy or the unhealthy, the stuff that's just how everything's sort of laid out in the shop and marketed.
So why do you think that is? Money?
Because they're more concerned about making money than having any responsibility.
Okay. Cool. Great. Any thoughts on young people? What sort of questions would we ask around young people, or things would you like to know?
So mainly around antisocial behaviour and then amenities that are available. So I keep turning my back. I'm sorry. So what kind of amenities do you think was available for you when you were younger, and do you think these are still available now? Do you think there's more available, more like say choice or less choice? What would you say like the general environment is like now for
Since
young people?
lockdown, there's things that existed for younger people. So
Yeah.
now they've all just become antisocial.
Going off of that, also what had been said near the start of lockdown about people from certain communities being basically not good enough
Yeah.
has really affected them, because now they're like, well, they said we're not good enough for that, so why should we act right?
Yeah.
So I think, because I know when I was a kid, they actually used to tell me in my school that you are from Derby, you ain't going to get nowhere. They're
Right.
one of the nice teachers. And there's that kind of viewpoint, even when you go to places like university and stuff, there's still that viewpoint that people from certain communities can't lead or can't do certain jobs. And I think that's the reason why we're getting so much antisocial behaviour.
That's a good point. So aspirations or perceptions or limitations that are put on certain people groups or areas. Because our MP, Sarah Dines MP, who I actually really like, forget she's conservative, she's just a nice person. And when she was at school, and it's going back like in my day, so it's a long time ago, there was a programme on called Crown Court, and the barrister was female, she was a lady. So she really wanted to be, she aspired to that, and she was a real good character. So she aspired to it. And when they said, oh, what do you want to be when you leave? She said, oh, I'd like to be a barrister. She said, people from your part of the world, she was born and raised on a council estate, they just don't become barristers. But that made her think, well, I'll show you. So she worked hard, studied hard, went to uni, studied law, became a barrister, became a QC, and now she's an MP, and she's also the Prime Minister's private secretary. So she came to one of our early team meetings, didn't she, Lauren?
Yeah.
And she told that story, and I thought, wow, it really moved me.
I'm sure we've got a picture on the wall over there.
Yeah.
The anti-crime campaign.
Yeah, so we did an anti-crime campaign with her and with the local council. And she actually, what impressed me about her, and I'm not promoting her as a politician or anything, but what impressed me, she wanted to go and do research and do involvement of the community on the Earth Farm estate. And we went door to door, knocking on doors, getting opinions, asking questions, what's needed. When we were first starting the youth project. And it was really, really great to see that. And she was doing it out of general heart and concern. And on the back of that, we started the Young People's Project, and she was speaking to our leaders about don't let people put limitations on you. And it's interesting what you say, because when I studied housing at uni, my qualification is just above your head there, professional diploma in housing. There's something called architectural determinism. Two big words. Architectural determinism. And it's a thought or a theory that wherever you come from, that, say you came from Kelvin Flats in Sheffield, or even the Hurst Farm estate, because of architectural determinism, statistics will say that most people won't travel within a 5-mile radius of this in all their life. They'll born here, they'll die here, they'll live here. And that's actually true, statistically, but we can change and break statistics ourselves. Because I left a council estate, I went to uni, I've done great, I've done well. And I think part of it is not allowing people to put limitations on you and be aspirational, inspirational, and work hard and be around people who'll speak life into you and over you and tell you all things are possible. Do you know what I mean? I'm just coming back to what you said there. That we don't need to live within the confines of public opinion or other people's opinion. That all things are truly possible if you work hard and you apply certain principles to your life. I like a phrase that success leaves clues. So people who've been successful, there'll be a trail of clues behind the life. You know, somebody became an overnight success. Well, they really didn't. They're working so hard behind the scenes and using principles day in, day out, and just sticking to those principles. And eventually, cream rises to the top. I'm teaching a series now on excellence and the power of excellence, and that's doing the best you can with what you've got. And we've all got something, so it's just using the best you've got with what you can. So if we ask you to do some research or a qualification or do some work, just do the best you can with your best of your ability, and that's all we expect. But then you'll keep rising to the top all the time, rather than just blending in with the crowd. If you rise to the top, then you'll be successful and you'll do well. But that's the same in your health, your mental health, you know, what you eat, your exercise. If you're excellent, do the best you can with what you've got, you'll do really well. But then you've got to stop blaming other people, You can't make excuses. You can't blame other people. You've really got to look in the mirror and say, well, my future's down to me. Do you know what I mean? Just thoughts from me.
No,
on
I think
that.
that's quite enlightening actually. So yeah, to be honest, like you think about it, like you are kind of like your own obstacle to an extent. Like, and I think as well, you can sometimes be like, oh no, you can't do that, or you would never be able to do that. And I think actually, no, push back from that and keep going.
Yes, exactly.
Like, sky's the limit at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's right. And I think with, going back to the healthy eating and food and diet and exercise and stuff, it's like, I just can't understand why I'm so big. Do you know what I mean? Well, we are what we eat, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? The best exercise you can do is that. No, I don't want any more apple crumble and custard. Not today. No more donuts. I don't want a third helping of curry. So have we covered everything there?
Yeah, I think we have actually.
Antisocial behaviour.
Oh, yes, antisocial behaviour. No, we haven't. Sorry. Yes, antisocial behaviour. So I guess that kind of ties in with like young people and amenities. So would you say that kind of has like a bit of an impact that if people don't have a place to go, they're more likely to then get involved in antisocial behaviour? Or would you say there's absolutely no correlation whatsoever?
There's not enough things for like young people to do.
Yeah.
After school and things like that. Like when I was at school, there was only one youth club that we could actually go to. And then like if there were so many people in, they wouldn't let others in, or do you know what I mean? Like if you didn't pay, you wouldn't be able to come in. And it's like, no wonder kids get into trouble because there's nothing for them to do. So they're in the wrong crowd.
So it's almost like that accessibility bit, because you said about like if you can't pay, you won't be able to get in. So I think it's as well like offering something that
Free.
Yeah, free or I don't know, 50p, something you wouldn't really miss, or that more obviously free, but even if it's say just a nominal amount.
Parents that were like, oh yeah, here's just a few quid, go to the youth club. Do you know what I mean? Like some parents actually need that.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, it's just not enough things for people to do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. I think it's a bit of both, because the youth we do on the Hurst Farm estate, actually the community centre is an old post office, but it's like a house. So it's like next door to other houses and flats. So you have the youth club, and then you've got young people making a lot of noise outside it and knocking on people's doors and running away. Knock and run. I mean, it's the most crazy thing that I'd never do when I was a kid. I'm joking. I mean, who didn't do stuff like that? But it's wrong. And then it's placed near where old people live. So I think we need to be a bit more mindful about where we have centres and community centres, that they're not on top of where people live. And we make ours free and accessible. But I do understand sometimes it's good to charge for something and people put a value on it,
Yeah.
And some groups need to do it for budgeting and stuff. But antisocial behaviour, yeah.
We know that antisocial behaviour is, especially like coming out of lockdown, probably a little bit worse, but I think there's that pent up frustration.
Yeah.
If you've been inside, and what now?
Everybody just runs out and has a big party.
Yeah. And I think it's as well like making sure we've got things in place. This is why we really need, like, say, your guys' opinion on this. What would you say young people really need? Like, they need, say, sports, boxing. You, sorry, I look where you've gone. You're there, the exact same place you were before. So like boxing. When I was in Glossop over the Christmas period, you actually had martial arts. So different things. I think you said as well, it's almost like that respect kind of value, and like learning how to say, not even just to defend yourself, but that whole respect value. We definitely have like one case study of like a troubled child in school, and they were really excelling in like martial arts kind of environment. So it's kind of like seeing what would work. I mean, obviously it's not one shoe fits all. There's different things we need to kind of consider. So not just sport, maybe a bit of creativity, all that type of thing thrown in, a bit of geography, climate change type of thing, just kind of like everything to get a bit of everyone's, what they really want, really.
Something they do on my, or they did on my street, I don't know if they do it anymore, we had this thing called where basically they got the like teenagers and stuff to like, they gave them basically a job, and part of that job was like cleaning up the streets and stuff, and like taking care of things, like go around watering any of the plants and stuff.
Yes.
And it just made us like have a bit more respect for the area that we lived in.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like that. And what we're doing soon is we're going to do some training to get people trained up in leading community walks. And Lauren's going to be leading on that and cascading it. And then once we've got people trained up, they'll be leading a community walk in our communities, and we can invite our staff and the community. But we're also going to do some litter picking. And I've nicked this idea from some MPs who might want to get re-elected. We don't want to get re-elected, but you just have those like things, you know what I mean?
I remember those from school, yes.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
So we've ordered some of those and bought some. So we can go on a community walk and clean an area up. And therefore then you're meeting the community, you're taking responsibility for it, and just setting a good example. I think it's a good idea. So we're going to do that, Chloe. You can be part of that. We'll all be part of it. It'll be good fun.
And there's the two Chloes together. That would be
Two Chloes together. Yeah, I'm saying both of you. You're both Chloes. You can get involved in this. So it's good. So we're going to train people up, 4 people at a time. So Lauren's going to lead on that and cascade that opportunity to people. Couple of weeks time. So that'll be good.
Like do a half-day training course. To be a walk leader, you have to there's more to it than just going for a walk, basically. And then once you get a certificate, and it's like a full qualification thing. And then the week after, you attend this woman, she's called Helen, you attend one of her walks. And then you kind of take a little section of it and you lead it to make sure you can do it by yourself.
Yes.
It's probably it's not as complicated as it sounds. It's just finding somewhere to go for a walk and get everyone to come with you. Like Derby, Canal Path, Flat. That'd be an easy walk. Alberton Castle. So many places in Derby.
So easy.
Exactly, Canal Path, Flat. Everyone can get there.
And we've already got a Facebook page, River Network Walking Club. So we'll be able to promote it and mark it through that and through all the Instagram accounts. I know Chloe on my right. Chloe MMA is leading on that. And Ashbourne, yeah. Keep posting, please, daily, guys, on the Instagram. It's really important. And use hashtags Derbyshire, youth work, all the things we do, and your location, like Ashbourne, Derby, whatever, and hashtag River Network. And then we all repost them as well. And we can copy in Derbyshire County Council now. Yeah. So we're doing the training, the walking training with Derbyshire County Council as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I know they do quite a lot pretty much everywhere. I know High Peak and North Dales, there's a lot of obviously like very scenic, rural, that type of thing.
That's good. And I think we're starting the community coffee mornings in Derby again, aren't we?
Yes.
Chloe MMA. So we just need to book that venue.
To book Sunny Hill for a block booking.
Yeah, a block booking.
Sunny Hill.
If they'll have us back.
Out of all the places.
It's not really booked a venue.
Yeah. Just be happy we can book a venue, Chloe.
If you can find a venue, Starbucks. No, we can't do a coffee morning in Starbucks. They only sell coffee. And I'm not paying.
You should try another coffee place, Chloe.
It's 'cause it's
Starbucks is cheap coffee, it's burnt.
Costa. We like Costa. We have been there once
We have
before.
been there
as well.
once before.
Got honest. Yeah.
So I only really go to Costa because I get it free on Fridays with Vodafone. So
I'm on Vodafone.
I never knew that.
if you go on Very Me, it's not like every Friday, but vast majority of Fridays, you get, I think, either a free drink or £2.80. Yeah, and if you get like the Costa loyalty card as well, you get free drinks. And man in the queue told me that.
Well, when we start with the new coffee morning in Derby, I know we did it one time, but we'll do that more strategically. And the other things we're doing, we've got some free SIM cards to give away from Vodafone. That for 6 months, you get free. You get as many calls and as many texts, and is it 20 gig of data? So we're going to do some giveaways with that. We're going to do some cool stuff. And we've got a great event coming up at Buxton, which will be amazing. It's a great venue, isn't it? We love it there.
Absolutely stunning.
And we're very, very privileged to get in there. But that's going to be big because we're going to do awards, Community Hero Awards for the whole of Derbyshire. I might give a couple of people from Derbyshire County Council an award. Yeah. If they're very nice to
They
us.
all know us now.
If they're very nice to us and give us lots of funding, money, and a kind,
I'm definitely trying to
and
help.
do well on media presentations.
Every time we ring, they're like, I've heard about you. And we're like, I'm hoping it's good.
No,
Think so?
yeah.
Every department seems to have heard about us now.
Yeah, you're definitely getting the name out there, because I know there was one person who didn't call it River Network, they called it something else. Because I was struggling, I was like, oh, is that a different one? Trying to search it, I was like, no, it's the exact same one. Spent about an hour like, there is no organisation called this.
It was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you it was funny. I'll tell you a funny story in closing. This is my first close. No, I am closing. No, it was very funny. So I'm actually, I think it was no, it was Buxton. So I'm in Buxton Job Centre, and I get a call, and I see it's from DWP because it's the same number. So it came in. Hello. Hi, is that Terry River Network? Yes. It's Matlock Job Centre here. I've got a special needs person, and they are autistic, and they are this. I mean, all this is fine because we're a charity and we all employ all different kinds of needs people. He wants to work on the railways. Blah, 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 blah. So I said, okay. I said, River Network is a charity, not River Rail Network. They went, oh yes, we know. We just thought maybe you'd be able to get him in and a job there, Terry. I said, I'm doing quite a few other things at the minute, you know what I mean? I was laughing about it. I thought, are you kidding me? What are they going to do next? We've got somebody here who wants to be a jet pilot, Terry. They've got one eye and they're black. Could you get them a job with Jet 2? No. I mean, come on, I'm a job consultant. Do you think that's hilarious?
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. I couldn't believe it. So funny.
We've already got them an award.
Exactly. Anyway,
Not job centre,
I just thought it was.
yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. They thought I was a. I thought they thought we were River Network, a train company.
Yeah.
River
I was thinking like
Network.
Rail Network.
Woo! Yeah. No, but they didn't. They knew what we did, but they just thought I could. I'd got loads of time to just be a recruitment consultant. Anyway, have we got any questions or thoughts in closing? Chloe on my left,
Yeah.
as we close. Have we got any questions or feedback for Nicole?
And it's okay if you don't have anything now. I will make sure my details are out there, so if you want to pass it on to
Yeah, I've got your
anybody.
email now.
Yeah, so if you didn't feel comfortable talking now, completely understand. I'm like that in most meetings. Yeah, if there's something that you're really wanting to say but you don't feel you want to say it now, you can always get in contact with me. And if there's something you think about to say at a later date, you can always send me an email, send me a message. I will always have a look at those.
Great. No other thoughts on young people, climate change, antisocial behaviour, and dental health and mental health.
Mental health.
Dental health and
Dental
mental
health
health.
and it
Do you
does
like
rhyme.
that?
I
That
like
works
that,
well,
yeah.
doesn't it?
That's a good way to remember it.
Yeah.
I'll have no excuse to forget in future.
Okay. Well, we've just been live through all that anyway.
Oh, have we? I was wondering, so you were switching between.
So
Wish you can watch it back now.
That
Thanks
is
for
very
tuning
true.
in,
Yeah, I was
everybody.
thinking about that, yeah.
we'll see you all soon. Ciao for now.